Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to The Q, No Cell Entertainment's movie review podcast. That's all about truth, justice, and the American way. Oh wait, that's the guy that this is like kind of based on. It's a guy he got the thought process from.
Are we doing Superman 4?
No, but we need to.
Okay.
Actually, I had a thought earlier today about an entire Superman retrospective.
Maybe.
Because it gets good after 2. As I've been saying, those podcasts will be fan-fucking-tastic.
So let's skip 1 and 2 and just.
I don't know. I kind of want to do 2 to see if we rather do the regular cut or the Donner cut.
We'll skip those.
No,
too good.
That sounds like a lot of stuff I do not want to do.
You wanted to do all of that because Superman is the best. That's Steel. He looked up to Superman, just like all of you look up to the voice of a generation, the Onitoshi Jeff Mack. With me, as always, dashing Joseph Lessel.
Sorry, Jeff. I'm going to be a little out of breath today. I was rollerblading down the street, and I kept getting shot at by lasers and sonic booms.
This is why you don't rollerblade down L.A.
I was in Compton.
Not wearing your short shorts and blasting the village people.
What do you expect?
And, as always, producer Zen.
Hi.
Trying not to cause wars on Twitter this week, hopefully.
Well, if people would just learn their place, then I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Hopefully that one doesn't get back to the other side of the argument.
There's only one side to this argument, and it's mine. Because I'm always right.
Okay.
You can't stop the music.
But can you stop this movie from sucking?
No.
Well, these folks couldn't. Ladies and gentlemen, we are watching the 1997 magnum opus known as Steel.
Who does it star?
It stars... Hello, my name is Shaquille O'Neal.
Kobe, pass me the ball. Kobe. Shaquille O'Neal.
And that's about all you need to know.
You got one of the Breakfast Clubbers, Judd Nelson.
And you do have Shaft himself, Richard Roundtree.
That's all you need to know.
That is literally all you need to know. The gal who plays Sparks, I don't think I've ever seen her in anything else. Because I didn't watch SLU Punk.
X-Files. She was part of the X-Files in the latter part of the series when Jillian Anderson. Yeah, she left, so they brought a new girl in, and that was her.
Oh, okay.
Her.
So, here's the thing. Steel is based off of a DC comic book character known as Steel, who is very much involved in the Superman universe of DC. Being very important following the Death of Superman arc and going forward from there. Mm-hmm. He was one of the 4 different potential replacements for Superman after his death. And fought along the family of Superman heroes like Supergirl and Superboy for a long time, even joining the JLA. Very well known because he has a giant hammer, a metal suit, and a giant fucking Superman crest.
But
hey, we get 2 out of 3 in this movie.
He doesn't have a Superman crest on his Steel outfit.
He did in the comics.
But not in this movie, though.
No, as I said, we got 2 out of the 3.
Oh, okay. Well, he does have a giant Superman logo tattoo.
Yes, which is one of 2 Superman references you get in the fucking movie about a Superman side character.
I honestly had heard of this movie before, had no idea it had to do anything with comic books. I thought it was just a role written for Shaquille O'Neal.
Nope, this was supposed to be an adaptation of a comic book character. Very loosely based on a comic book character.
Let's just say this. The director probably looked up the origins of the movie.
Yes.
Of the comic book, and then he decided, you know what? Screw it. Let's not do any of that. It's like, let me think. Oh, Dragon Ball Evolution. That comes to mind.
It's very much like that because there are actually parts of the character's story that is correct. And we'll get to those as we go through the movie.
There's not a whole lot that's correct.
No, a lot of it's, let's tone it so we can put Shaq in L.A., but...
Yep.
That being said, movie came out in 1997, directed by Kenneth Johnson.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me CWC's own Kenneth Johnson?
Your favorite wrestler.
No, that was yours. You piece of crap. Beat me to the goddamn punch.
I had to get to that as soon as possible, or I knew you were going to throw that back at me.
But Mr. Kenneth Johnson himself is the director of...
I believe it's a different Kenneth Johnson. But they're both botchaholics.
Yeah. I was going to say, a funny thing about Shaq in this movie is that this is because he got newly signed to L.A.
Yes.
And he was playing for the Olympics. So he had to schedule the Olympics and this movie in the same time.
Before getting onto the Lakers.
Yes.
And the rush job is shown.
Yeah, so basically, during practices and after practices and after games, he would do his lines. He only read the script once.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
That shows. Also, Kenneth Johnson has directed other movies, like Don't Look Under the Bed.
What?
Short.
I love that movie.
Wait, what? You know what this movie is?
Hang on, do the one above it. Or above.
Oh, the one above it? Yeah. He was very busy in 1999, because he also did in 1999 Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century.
Both of those are Disney movies. Back when Disney movies were good on television.
Also back in 88, he did Short Circuit 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
So when I was writing down all the information, I yelled, "God damn it," because of the two Disney movies. Reed literally just watched Don't Look Under the Bed during October.
Really?
Yeah, I made Joe watch it because it was one of my favorite movies that Disney did during Halloween.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of this movie.
It's not good.
It's not.
It's not good. It's about the boogeyman.
He's coming to get
Imaginary
you?
friends, basically. But yeah, I knew Zen would get a kick out of
That's
that.
awesome. I instantly like this movie a little bit more.
Not much can make this movie any good, though. Speaking of which, did you know this movie had a plot?
Really?
Did it?
It has a gigantic plot, according to what Joe's written down here for me.
There was supposed to be a love story somewhere in there.
Oh!
Did you guys?
We'll
Okay.
get to that.
Okay.
But the plot goeth thusly. John Henry Irons designs weapons for the military. When his project to create weapons that harmlessly neutralize soldiers is sabotaged, he leaves in disgust. When he sees gangs are using his weapons on the streets, he uses his brains as his Uncle Joe's junkyard know how to fight back, becoming a real man of steel.
I mean,
That's the movie.
it's literally the movie.
Good night. Next week on the key, we're doing Can't Stop the Music 2.
Oh my god, if they ever made a
They did
sequel to
not.
that.
That was
That would be
amazing.
amazing.
No, unfortunately, we still have to talk about this movie. And again, it's very apropos we're doing this movie. Because it's the 20th anniversary of Steel.
Damn it.
We don't plan these things, people.
It just kind of happens. And also, it also is apropos with us, as we do the No Cell podcast available on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, and NoCellEntertainment.com, that Shaq is bailing out of his WrestleMania match because he didn't want to fucking work out. So
No, did you see his ab photo shoot he did today?
No.
So, I don't know why, but there's a video of him Big Show, you're not the only one with abs. And he tells the guy to turn it around. So the camera's on Shaq, and then they turn it around into a mirror that Shaq's looking into, and Shaq's wiping his face off so you see his abs. But I'm like, why are you having him look away? Just show your abs.
Photoshop?
I think it might be.
Double.
Maybe.
Body double.
Maybe. But it's crazy.
It's
Guys,
stupid.
the match is still happening.
I know.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
They're throwing so much at this that the match is still happening.
It's probably happening, and I'm saddened for this. But you know what else I'm saddened by?
This movie.
That I had to watch this movie. Let's get into it. And we start with the smelting process.
A long-ass intro of steel.
Yes, it's literally metal work. It's metal. It's the actual melting of core elements to combine to create steel.
So, science!
Yes, to really shitty theme music.
Oh my god. The music in this whole movie was bad.
That was one of the worst parts of this movie.
I was waiting for a Shaq song to pop up.
Now, here's the problem I have with the fact that this movie has bad music. Do you know who one of the executive producers of this movie is?
John Williams?
No. Well, yes, Shaq is one.
Shaft?
No. Quincy fucking Jones.
Yeah.
The man is a genius musically, and he allowed this to happen?
I mean, to be fair, though, the music fits in with the superhero theme-esque.
Yes, but then you put the synthesized shit over the top of it.
You mean the funk music to add a little
Now, here's the thing.
flair to it?
I love orchestrated music. I love funk. Not together. Oh my god, it was horrible.
Yeah, it did not work
bad. And then we go to nature somewhere.
In LA. It looked like in LA.
And there's a tank. And tank's driving through. And then we see a rifle pointing through some bushes. And it uses...
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
Because at this point, we're still... So for me, I was still in the intro when I was like, oh shit. I didn't realize, again, I did not know this was based on a comic book. I saw the DC comic book thing pop up and I instantly wrote down, oh shit, this is going to be a terrible movie.
And thank you for bringing up this is a DC movie.
It is.
So, in my notes, I have found out that this Man of Steel, was going to be part of a DC universe. And the Superman in this DC universe, you know him as in Nick Vember, but the Nick Cage Superman movie that never happened.
You mean the Tim Burton directed one?
Yes, this was in that universe.
Huh.
And this is the only thing we got out of it?
Yep.
Wow.
So we could have had Nick Cage as Superman and Steel with Shaq.
Well, we can thank everything good in this world that didn't happen. And so we have this rifle, and it shoots a laser beam.
A freaking laser beam.
That, cuts the tread of the tank. And then the rifle decides to cast magic missile. Or, as I wrote it down on my notes, pelts the tank with Roman candles.
Yep.
This is awful. This is shit. It's allegedly all it does is superheat the tank to make the guys inside slightly uncomfortable.
But you never see them change the gun, in video games or any other action movie.
Or in real life.
That you're shooting a gun and then you switch the gun from automatic to single or something. They show you, hit, in video games, hit Y or hit something, and you switch the gun.
Yeah, or
to a grenade launcher or whatever. This just laser beam and then here comes the flares.
Magic missile. Magic missile.
Yeah. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
I mean, fuck. The shitty flash that was the Hadouken in Street Fighter was more impressive than these things.
Yep.
So, this was a weapons test. And the weapon was created by an R&D team comprised of John Henry Irons and Sparks and Burke.
I'm not going to lie. I was laughing my ass off watching this movie. Watching Shaq act.
Oh, Shaq and Technobabble.
And trying to be smart.
That was hilarious.
And basically, we meet our three people: Burke, Irons, and Sparks. And it gives it like away instantly. Judd Nelson, bad guy, just like out of like.
I can take it to 11.
Like literally that. Like it's his first scene and like his first line. And it's just like, I'm the bad guy.
Hey, I'll do anything to move ahead, including fuck over my partners.
Yeah, wink, wink, and then it's like, oh, he's the bad guy already. Okay, cool.
And then you have Sparks and John doing the technobabble thing. And then the finger point thing.
You mean the E.T.?
Yeah.
E.T. Bonehone.
Okay, they're in love.
Right.
I mean, this isn't even needing to be pointed out.
See,
But it is, because they don't go anywhere.
Oh, they do, and we'll get to that at the end of the movie.
They hint the entire time. Ooh, there's a love connection.
But they never full out say this is what it is.
I mean, we'll get to a couple of instances later on.
The finger banging that they do with each other, it brings me to a point where, do I want to do that with Zen, or do I want to keep doing the face soothe? And I'm sticking with the face soothing because finger banging here.
You know, this is out of context, Joe. It sounds like you're talking about a different kind of finger banging.
Oh.
I mean, if y'all like the finger bang, nobody's going to question it, but if you like the face soothe better, everybody's got their own thing in their relationships. It's important to be open and honest with your partner.
I'm not going to bang E.T. Wait, no, that's not it.
No, I generally wouldn't bang E.T. either.
Yeah.
But no, Soul Nation, Joe still has continued to do the stupid face suit thing. Yep, all the freaking time. All the freaking time.
I make sure of that. That was my New Year's resolution.
So we're sticking with face soothing, not the finger poke-a-doom.
No finger poke-a-doom. No.
Okay.
No finger poke bang.
So, yeah, Burke talks to the senator about, like, oh, yes.
Is she evil? Like, the senator? He's just like, I can take it to the next level. Well, if you keep doing that, I could see you as a colonel, whatever, down the line.
So, because she wants some people to see people die, I guess.
She wants to see the world burn.
So, we go to our second test for the sonic cannon. Okay, this is legitimate science.
Science!
And Burke's like, no, give me the shots. And he steps up and he takes it to 11. Why not 10? Because it goes to 11.
It says 11, so we go to 11.
And John sees this, but only too late, and tries to dive. Burke, no. But he pulls the trigger. The reverb of the sonic cannon that destroys the building they're shooting at bounces back at them and collapses the building on top of the two women, Sparks and the senator. John, of course, seeing his woman that he loves in peril, lifts a giant piece of wall off of her. Because, adrenaline.
Okay. Did any of you two notice that every time Shaq has to pick something up over somebody or pick something up, it goes in slow motion?
No.
No, I did not notice that.
Every time when he picks up the cement block off Sparks, it's in super slow motion, and then later on he has to pick something up super slow motion.
Fuck, did not notice that.
Yeah, there's a couple things that there's an ongoing little thing about it, and I'll bring up in a little bit.
So we go to the trial because Burke's getting fucked over this, and he said that John's giving his testimony, and he says that when he lifted the wall, the senator was dead, and Sparks was paralyzed. So that's shitty.
Yeah, that's super sad.
Then because the man's in a criminal trial, so he's allowed to walk freely in the hallways of the court?
No. They let him off.
Oh, no, we haven't got to that part yet.
No, I don't care. I'm going to get to this point now. He gets off.
Yeah, he just gets dishonorably discharged, I assume.
He gets discharged. But he killed a senator.
Oh, yeah. Massive incompetence leading to the death of a senator.
Reckless endangerment.
And he gets off.
I'm pretty sure that's manslaughter.
Yeah, it is manslaughter.
It is manslaughter. And he gets off.
Well, he gets discharged. He just doesn't get to go to jail.
Oh, my God.
Which, yeah, it's stupid as fuck. But
what
no.
The fuck?
Because of this, Burke and John meet up in the hallway of the courthouse. And Burke looks like he's going to try to start a fight with John. And then realizes, fuck, it's a 7'2", 350-pound man I'm about to try to fight. Probably not my best idea.
Actually, if the reports are right, Shaq weighed 324 at this time.
324? Okay.
Yeah.
Is he 7'1" or 7'2"?
7'2", I think.
7'2". So yeah, Burke decides not to. But yeah, John and the Colonel walk afterwards, and
he gets off.
Yeah, so John fucking quits the military.
Fuck you.
The weirdest speech ever. I mean, he doesn't really say, I quit. He just says, this isn't what I'm all about. Peace.
Yeah.
Well, that's his shitty way of saying that he is deciding to abandon his post and leave the military. Because the Colonel wants to rebuild. He thinks they still have something to work with here. But no, he does not. Shaq does not want to see people die. Then John decides to visit Sparks in the hospital. Brings her favorite flowers. Leaves her his...
something.
Pea blossoms.
Pea blossoms?
Or sweet peas.
Sweet peas.
And then leaves her his number and address.
Which, to bring back the point of them being in love, you wouldn't leave the person you love paralyzed in a hospital and go back home.
I mean...
Where are they, by the way?
The military base? Never say.
They never say period.
Well, they do say where they're going afterwards.
Home.
L.A.
Yeah, L.A. But I'm like...
And the VA hospital. We know where that is.
Yeah.
L.A.?
No, the second VA hospital's in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, that later on.
Yeah.
But, like, the scene now, it's like, I'm going home. Because they do a little montage of him on a bus going home while Burke, Judd Nelson, is on a plane.
Yeah, they arrive in very different ways back to L.A.
But I think they were just in L.A. the whole time.
No, they were in probably the Midwest somewhere.
I call bullshit.
I don't know where military R&D is taken care of. Shaq arrives, he gets off the bus. Everybody knows who John Irons is. And he gets a basketball because somebody missed and it rolled to his feet. So we have John Henry Irons attempting a three-point shot.
Clank.
Back irons it.
That's the first Shaq shooting a basketball joke. There's more to come.
Get it?
Because he can't shoot.
Yeah.
Get it?
Burke then goes to Dantastic Incorporated to visit his old friend Big Willie. Dantastic Enterprises, it's a purveyor of many, looks like video game consoles.
Yep.
For arcades. So that's cool. But it also sell illegal weapons on the streets. Because that's a thing. And fucking Burke just happens to know this. And like, hey, here, sell these weapons for me because I stole the blueprints from the military. Okay.
Yeah, he went full heel all of a sudden.
He went full heel 30 seconds into the fucking movie.
Right?
I mean, he has killed a senator already. I don't think this is the worst of his crimes.
This is true. Okay, he went from heel to villain.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, why not? I just like the fact when he's like talking to Big Willie, he's like, I have these documents here, and it's a little tiny mini disc.
Yeah, a little zip disc.
One zip disc to rule the world.
Oh god, the 1997 technology. This gets fun.
If you wanted to take over the world, you needed one zip disc.
Very true. John then returns to his grandma's house, and he's kind of a big oaf and very loud, which ruins his grandmother's hominy souffle.
And I have a little thing about that. The whatever the hell it is.
Souffle.
Bless you. Mm-hmm. What's the ongoing joke in movies and television that when someone's making that, you have to be super quiet or it deflates it? Because I've seen that in other things.
Yeah.
It's a true thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's so delicate that enough vibration will cause it to sink.
Because
you have to have like perfect timing.
Wow.
Souffles are fucking difficult.
If you cook it too long, it deflates on its own.
I did not know that.
If you don't cook it enough, it's just soup.
Because when I heard about that in the movie, I'm like, I was trying to think of a movie or show that had one like that same situation. Like, we're making this cake, and then, hey mom, boom, it deflates. I'm like, what?
Every sitcom ever.
Yeah. What the hell?
By the way, the whole point of Grandma's character is that she's trying to combine soul food and French cuisine.
Oh, you also forgot to say, where does Grandma live?
So, Grandma lives in the ghetto.
In the ghetto, yes.
In the nicest house a ghetto has ever seen.
It's like apartments, rundown buildings, a yellow house.
With green grass.
Basically,
Green grass, a tall, nice, flourishing tree.
Basically, the old crazy lady from Catwoman's house.
Yes.
Yes, I think it might be the same place.
Yeah.
So, I guess John's had plenty of offers for jobs.
Tech jobs.
Tech jobs, making weapons and whatnot. He doesn't want to do that. He's no more about the weapons. Instead, he takes a job pouring steel.
Does he know how to do that?
I mean, it doesn't take much.
Okay.
You pour molten metal into a bowl until it fills.
Okay.
Then we cut back to Dantastic and...
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
I think Zen might have some notes about his coworkers walking by him.
Oh, yeah. Do you have something about his coworkers, Zen?
Yeah, two ladies just happened to walk through the steel fab place. In non-PPE at all. What the hell? They're just wearing crop tops and their tight pants.
Hey, they were from accounting.
But they wore a helmet.
You have to be safe going through a smelting plant.
Yeah, because a helmet is really going to help you when hot metal is being poured on your feet or something.
To be fair, I don't think I have to worry about this. They were hot enough as it was.
Oh! No, I don't know.
It was also a really stupid ploy in the movie at this point to just have them walk by and stare Shaq up and down and him look back at them like, yeah, what up?
Hey, some people, they just wanted some steel.
What's the point?
Sorry.
I think that's what they were asking, if they could find out what his point was.
What about Sparky?
I didn't say what his motivation was. I said what their motivation was.
Alright.
And I mean, she's kind of paralyzed now. I mean, I don't know exactly how that works. So I mean,
Wow, Jeff.
I'm just saying. I don't trust Shaq. I don't think Shaq's wife trusts Shaq. But that's wait, no, that's Kobe. Anyways, back to Dantastic, where Willie. How is he moving his guns? Inside the arcade cabinets. So an AK-47 inside your latest edition of NBA Jam.
And it's really them just like hanging it on the end. Like there's a hook inside. Like, oh, we're just gonna put this here and
then put the cabinet on the back.
Yeah. What if when you're playing when you're younger playing at arcades and the game eats your quarter, so you start pounding on it and stuff? What if some kids starts pounding on Frogger or whatever, and the fucking thing opens, like, oh, look at that, a gun.
And they weren't just like regular guns either. There were like fucking chain guns and bazookas and rocket launchers.
Yeah.
Shit. But anyways, Burke has his prototype there. And he gets one of the guys to try it out, and it backfires and takes out the guy's face. But that's okay, because it took out the target as well. But Big Willie's assistant is none too pleased with this. So Burke decides...
Gal Gadot look-alike?
Yeah, from 20 years too soon.
Yeah.
That's okay, because guess what? She dead.
She gone.
Because Burke decided to drop her elevator. Also, 2 random dudes. Just dead.
Poor guys.
Never had a chance. So Burke's now just killed 3 people.
So basically this whole scene is that her and 2 other guys are in the thing, but there's another guy, Big Willie's like right-hand man, and they pull him off. What other movies has he been in?
I don't know.
It might be his voice, because he has a deep voice.
He has a very deep voice.
But I feel like I've seen him somewhere, and it was just pissing me off yesterday watching this movie.
The other part is I could never figure out what his character's name was.
Was it like...
I have no idea.
I forgot.
No, I'd have to look it up. But,
Whatever.
But yeah, now Burke's like, yeah, guess what? You now work. You wanted to play her? No. Okay, then now you work for me. So now he's basically got Big Willie's guys working for him instead of Big Willie. With this, John and Martin are on a ride-along. And they're going to an anti-gang meeting.
Martin is Shaq's little brother.
Yes.
Who you may or may not know as Ray J. The man that started all the Kardashian shit.
Did he start that?
Yeah, he made the sex tape.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, don't act like you hadn't seen the Ray J. Kim Kardashian sex tape.
I have no idea what you are talking about. Mm-hmm. But anyways, they're going there, but Big Willie's men decide to take this time to use Brooks' weapons to rob the local branch of the CompuBank. That's generic as fuck. Yeah. They use the sonic cannon to blow out the wall and then use the laser to cut open the safe.
Freaking laser beam!
The call goes out to the police officers to respond. Of course, the closest patrol car is the one that John and Martin are in. So they arrive, and they see the shit going down and realize this is John's weapons that are doing this. John saves 1 police officer from a overturned car that's on fire. But one of the perps gets left behind. John decides to chase him. And then we get our chase scene. Our slow-ass motherfucking chase scene.
Thank you. This was the slowest freaking chase I've ever seen.
Well, you know why, right? Because
Shaq can't run.
Shaq can't run. Plus, Shaq had to do all his own stunts. Because they couldn't find a 7'2" guy to be his stunt double.
I guess that's why they cut away with the barbed wire fence going into the train yard.
That, or, he looks super tired or sweaty. Mm-hmm. After, all right, Shaq, let's take 1. All right, I'm done, right? There's noise. Take 2. Damn it.
I don't want
to do it. Shaq, give me one more. Shaq, one more time. Last one. Let's do it. Kobe.
Somebody get somebody off the bench.
Yeah, get ready. Vladi, coming for you.
Vladi's the stunt double first.
My word.
So they finally make it into a train yard. And then the perp punches a railway worker who almost gets crushed. And Shaq saves him. And they run some more. And there's a lot of stupid shit in the train yard. And then the perp's like, oh yeah, I have a fucking future tech gun. And he uses it to almost crush John with a fucking train car. But luckily he's able to make it to the door in time.
Very N64 Mario-like sand level where you gotta get under those cubes with the one opening.
Oh yeah. And then eventually the perp still gets caught by John. But then another perp wings John with the Roman candle setting on the gun, which I guess does no damage. It knocks you down, but it doesn't kill anybody. What? Yeah.
Except it does hurt people when they're testing it.
But, like, he's perfectly fine the next day.
Oh, no, I'm with you. It was a flaw in this movie because they show it doing a lot of damage in one scene and then no damage to Iron.
So the next day, John calls the colonel on a payphone. Like, is this a secure line? Fuck that shit. My weapons are out in the public. How's this happening? It's like, oh, we'll get a hold of the NSA. We'll see what's going on here. And damn it, we'll figure this out, Pally.
Damn it, Pally.
But he just gets a run around. So John just hangs up the payphone so hard that he breaks the payphone off of its pole.
And then there's like a guy. It's like, oh, I was gonna use that. Never mind.
You son of a bitch.
Did he audition for that role? I'm playing for the role of guy behind payphone. And action. Oh, man. Perfect. You're hired.
So, with this, he goes and he talks to Martin about finding this gang that wears purple. And what's this gang called? The Marks.
Of course they are.
They're a bunch of marks.
Bunch of marks. I wish they had some feud with the Smarks.
So wait. A movie by Kenneth Johnson is full of marks.
Yeah. Fucking Kenneth Johnson, man.
No Cell Podcast available on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, and NoCellEntertainment.com. So he finds out where they hang. And he goes over there and he confronts their leader, Slats. What the fuck type of gang name is Slats?
Who knows?
Oh no, he was wearing.
He was like the worst stereotype of a gang mate.
Eye patched. Didn't he have like chain vest, like chain?
It looked like the fucking ring gear from Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
Can you dig it, sucker?
He had the eye patch that was all decorated, and then he also had gold teeth on half of his teeth.
It had half a grill.
On the uppers and bottom, though.
Yeah. And he's like, so John goes in there, he's like, I'm gonna beat your ass if you don't tell me where those guns are. And they're like, dude, no, we're not telling you shit. And he starts causing a kerfuffle, and they're like, oh wait, we have real guns and we'll shoot you in the head. So John, deciding discretion's the better part of valor, leaves.
Good man.
Then he's calling up to find out, because, alright, so Sparks was in one VA hospital and got transferred to one in St. Louis.
Why St. Louis?
That's where actually the main VA hospital is for the West Coast. That's where all the records were being held until it burned down and actually lost many people's VA records.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I only know this because of family reasons.
Ah.
So John flies to St. Louis and visits Sparks. And now we get the depression scene. A really, really depressing scene.
Question. So when he's talking to her, she's looking away.
When she's just looking out the window?
Yes. Did it not look like she might have been blind?
Yes.
It almost looked like they were playing off.
I think they were playing off she was blind because she would not look at him and just look away the entire time.
I mean, the whole point is just so that she's despondent from her position in life now.
She's pissed, she's mad that she's now paralyzed.
Yeah.
And he just keeps talking and she stares away, so I'm like, oh, she's blind now. Mm-hmm. How did she get blind? Even though the last scene we saw her, she was looking dead on with her.
It only breaks once he tells her that the weapons were in the street, but she still goes back to the despondence.
Yeah.
So he's like, are you going to continue to look out that dirty window? And he is complaining about the fact that his tax dollars weren't going to clean the windows, so he punches them out of the wall.
Because that's going to solve taxpayer money problems.
You heard about how shitty the VA's taken care of?
Yeah, the building just burnt down. So does he pay for it?
No. Instead, he kidnaps Sparks against her will.
Yep.
Just lifting her up by the wheelchair and carrying her out of there. A woman is being kidnapped
in a VA hospital.
Is against this completely and is being received with a round of applause.
So what, did everybody, hate her? It's like, we're here to recover from our injuries and accidents. You're just being a depressed bitch right now because I can't walk anymore. Well, I lost my arm, I lost my leg, and I found a way to deal with it.
But no,
you're just being a depressed bitch right now. And
he kidnaps her.
Yeah.
And steals her away halfway across the country to Los Angeles. And takes her to Uncle Joe's junkyard. Presumably to murder her.
Oh, you think? And here's my another what the fuck, and one of my favorite parts is he goes, brings her to Uncle Joe's, and he's like, I did something for you.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have.
The wheelchair accessible bathroom.
Yeah, you put a bar next to a toilet.
It meets county regulations.
Geez, thanks. All I wanted was a bar next to my toilet. So, Jeff, for my upcoming birthday, please put a bar next to my toilet so I can get up easier next time.
To be perfectly honest, I would be more than happy to put you in a wheelchair so that you can... Oh, wait, that doesn't
sound right. That's not what I want. I want a bar next to my toilet so I can easily accessible, get up and down off my toilet.
To be perfectly honest, knowing how messed up your back is...
I would need it.
You might need that.
But another thing. She gets there and he's like, oh, you're staying here. Why not take her to Grandma's house?
And an Uncle Joe's place where he's made another room that's accessible to you.
We don't know Uncle Joe. This is the first time we meet him.
Oh, all of this sets up before we even meet Uncle Joe.
Yeah. We're like, you're staying here now.
So no, we finally get to meet Uncle Joe after he comes up with the entire plan of, so what we're going to do here in this junkyard is we're going to create weapons to take out the weapons.
I heard he's a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
I'm just talking about Uncle Joe.
We can dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we meet Uncle Joe, who's Richard Roundtree.
Shaft!
You're damn right. And it's impressive the things you can find that fall off the back of a truck.
Do you mean the stolen?
Falls off the back of a truck. Like a older IBM mainframe that happens to fall off the back of a truck. Slightly dented. It's amazing what you can find that falls off the back of a truck.
So they steal everything.
Zen. Falls off the back of a truck.
Okay, but that's code for stealing, right?
Wink, wink, off the back of a truck.
Okay.
We go back to Dantastic Enterprises, where Martin is looking to get a job. Because I guess a lot of underprivileged kids are getting jobs there. Purveying the great new games like Batman Forever. But no, instead he meets the new head of R&D, Burke.
Oh, by the way, we missed another Shaq can't shoot joke, so that's joke number 2.
That's right. I wanted to skip that one because it was so bad. Back at the junkyard.
Sorry, Jeff. Did any of you guys notice what Judd Nelson told Ray J to call him?
Boss.
No?
The man.
Call me the man.
Shit! God damn it, Burke.
He's white, and he's in Compton. And he's white. So he's the man.
Yes, he's wanting to be the man. Sparks then falls down.
Oh my god, I love this scene.
But picks herself back up.
This was my favorite scene. No, Sparks reaching for something, she falls out of her wheelchair. She's like, moaning, groaning, all that, like, I can't get up. Uncle Joe and Shaq are, I was going to call him Shaft. Shaq and Uncle Joe are 10 feet away, and they're like, oh, let's go pick her up. And Shaq's like, no, she has to learn.
To be fair, she is appreciative of this.
Yeah,
she has to fend for herself.
But when she finally gets up, she's like, and Shaq's like, yeah, you did it. And I feel like Shaq thinks he had a part to this. And he's like, no, you let your friend, try to get, force herself back into her chair, which is a good thing and not. But he celebrates like he just won their NBA Finals.
To be fair, he hadn't done that at that point.
He celebrates for her. It's not that he
You sure?
celebrates.
Sure? It's Shaq. It's Shaq.
He takes pride in the accomplishments of the woman he loves.
So 90%, he's like, 90%, that's all me.
Hey,
I'm sorry, 99%. That's all me. That 1%, she did it.
as
Good
long
for
as
her.
she succeeds.
I love this scene.
And then we get the free throw joke.
Oh, okay. Because we get the free. Yeah, because of the fact that.
He tries to throw something away.
I hate the music. It's like
no.
church music.
The building montage to the gospel choir comes up next.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole thing is insanely mean-spirited.
Yep.
So here's the thing. I like the option of going with you have to steal yourself. That was funny. But what's the main chorus singing the entire time?
What?
Stand up.
Oh.
Stand up.
Yeah.
You gotta stand up for what you believe in. In an entire montage where one of the most important characters is in a wheelchair.
Oh, don't worry. Stand Up comes in at the very end again, too.
We will get to that.
Yeah.
Because that gets to the point that I really want to just bash
It's
you
a
on.
metaphor. You gotta stand up even when you can't.
You gotta steal yourself.
Like, steal, like, S-T-E-E-L, or?
Yes, because it's also used as a metaphor for becoming
Steal?
stronger.
That's Kanye.
There you go. And then, they do the close-up on Shaq's Superman tattoo, which is one of only 2 Superman references in the entire fucking movie. Sparks then fits John with a transistor. Has a camera for him. And then, well, because he's named after the American folk legend John Henry. He's John Henry Irons. He has to have his hammer. So he gets his gigantic hammer. And all the metalwork was done by Uncle Joe. He especially likes the shaft.
Get it?
Get
it?
The funny thing would be if you didn't know that was Shaft, you'd be like, oh, this is a dick joke.
Yep.
Yep, nope, it's actually Shaft. And then Shaft says, John Henry Irons has turned himself into the Man of Steel. Ta-da! Because after he pulls the helmet out of the fire, and it's glowing hot, I'm like, wait, is he about to put that fucking thing on? Is he Quasimodo himself? What the fuck? Then it's time for the field test. First, Steel meets a mugger. Guy holds a couple up at knife point, takes their belongings. And then we see the suit. Oh my god, is this an ugly mess.
It's like medieval times.
Medieval time meets
worse.
shit.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
It's like a RoboCop ripoff.
A little bit.
Like, this is like the RoboCop prototype, and then they saw it and like, we love it.
The problem is, there are some parts that look super plasticky.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously, I mean,
thing?
yeah, it's bad.
And I like the fact that there's like the chain link shit.
Oh, that
around
chainmail?
it. Yeah, the chainmail. It's like, why couldn't you just make your whole suit solid?
Well, you had to A, have some ability to move, and B, some ventilation.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. But he gives the people back their belongings, and then does his coolest exit by standing backwards on an escalator and telling the rich white people to be cool.
Keep cool, my bribbers.
And then his next stop, trying to stop a gang war. That's slightly a step up in competition.
Does he think he's like Blank Man or something?
It might be a better movie. So the Vatos on one side decide to open up their guns on him, and it has no effect, including the one guy who tries to shoot him in the dick. And what does that get? The Matumbo finger wave. Not in the House of Steel. There's the guy you could have got to do the stunt double, the Kembe Matumbo.
Yeah, because that would have given us a faster train.
Oh god!
Scene.
Dikembe Mutombo with Steel.
Yeah, not today.
Not today. He then uses his sonic gun feature on his Sammer to stop the car in mid drive, saying, and I quote, "It's hammer time."
And he says it once the entire movie, but he never uses The hammer, like when
he never hits anything with a fucking hammer.
Yeah, he never hits anything with a hammer.
No.
And then
what the fuck's the hammer time?
No.
The other things on the hammer, just because he's not using the literal hammer,
doesn't
mean he's not using
you should be
hammer.
Literally using the hammer when you say it's hammer time.
You should.
It's not like it's gun time and then you pistol whip them.
It's Sonic Boom.
I mean, someone might do that.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
It's gun time.
And then Uncle Joe with possibly the line of the movie. Well, I'll be dipped in shit and rolled in breadcrumbs.
That's so
I legitimately had to stop the movie and laugh.
I don't get the metaphor, but okay.
Sparky's comment, though, is that it sounds like it's straight out of Odessa's Cooking.
This is very true. He then turns on the electromagnet on the hammer and extracts everybody's weapons.
That's the hammer time.
And watches. And a trash can lid. And everybody runs. And then the cops show up.
Well, he tells them to run. Like,
He's not a cop. He can't arrest anybody.
Oh, yeah, but he could still beat the crap out of them.
Again, this is just field testing. This isn't a full run. And then the cops show up. And instead of getting arrested, he tries to escape via grappling hook. In the slowest ascent ever.
Oh, yeah, the cop's like, hands up, hands up. Okay, hands up.
Well, yeah, what? We said he weighed 320 something?
320 plus the suit itself is 75 pounds. So he's 400 pounds right now.
Oh, and that's not even mentioning if it was actually made of steel. That thing would be multiple hundreds of pounds.
Yep.
He then tries to jump across the crevasse between roofs. That barely works. And then the suit starts falling apart. Yay! Then he tries using his grappling hook to descend down the other side of a building. And that snaps, and he falls into a pile of garbage.
Or you didn't emphasize on this that he jumps from one building to another, and Sparks is like, "It's 3 feet. You can't jump 3 feet."
It was 8.5 feet.
Oh, was it 8? I saw 3 somewhere. Might be, I don't know, or something. But she's like, "You can't do it," and then he barely makes a jump, and he's like, "Science."
He's like, "Next time, I'm probably gonna listen to you."
Yeah.
So then we get introduced to the Steel Cycle. And he's trying to escape from the cops, so Sparks hacks into the freaking traffic grid and turns lights greens and reds to help him escape until he can make it back to the junkyard and into the steel cave.
Get it?
Get it! That's okay because the fucking cops even make a fucking Batcave reference.
Yeah, they do.
The next day, back in Dantastic Industries, Martin and Burke talk a little bit about steel, about where he's from. Then we see Grandma in a grocery store watching the news and hearing about steel. Later in a park, Burke and Slats meet up to talk business, steel, and the preference for non-pork products.
Eat the hot dog. I don't eat meat. Okay, it's a turkey. Oh, okay.
He doesn't eat pork.
What's the point of this whole turkey dog moment, too?
Because it comes around at the end.
I get it, but like...
It's stupid.
But why, why even have it in the movie?
Because funny.
We're talking business. Oh, but, Jeff, I've decided to make you a nice noodle bowl. Eat the noodle bowl.
But I don't like mushrooms.
There's no mushrooms in it.
Oh, sweet.
Eat the noodle bowl.
Is that chicken?
Yes.
Sweet.
Eat the chicken, but eat the noodle bowl.
No.
Yeah.
That was delicious.
Yeah. Later on, I'll tell you something different about my noodle bowl.
You son of a bitch! So, we go to the next night, and Burke's cronies decide to put on their big show. And
Where? That one?
No, Shaq won't wrestle him. Burke's cronies take out the power around the Federal Reserve. Then they throw up a jamming frequency and attack, using, again, the weapons from previous.
So, when they do this, a big explosion happens, right? So, is it me or probably you guys didn't catch this either? But every time an explosion happens, there always has to be someone around there that has to do a flip, dive out of the way. Every time there's a building explosion, the elevator shaft explodes. There's the janitor, the bank.
Yep.
There's a homeless person next to it. Every time there's an explosion, there has to be someone in the way to dive out of the way.
I guess the fed's the only scene that doesn't happen.
Yeah. When later on with the helicopter.
Oh yeah.
Gotta jump out of the way.
But so they start attacking the Fed, and they dispatch the guards with haste. I mean, those guys are literally nothing compared to these weapons.
Security cops.
Then Steele shows up and tries to stop him with the weapons of his own, but kind of fails miserably. He does okay, but just not good.
He's not good.
Then the cops show up. One of the goons decides to shoot down the chopper.
Shoot the chopper.
And it's going to crash onto Sergeant Marcus, but Steele saves him. By the way, did you recognize Sergeant Marcus?
No, I know. I've seen him in movies. I just don't know what.
I think I know exactly two of the movies that you know him from.
Go on.
The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, yeah.
And Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yes. He's Paul Walker's boss.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah.
So, Steele decides to leave in his steel cycle. And he takes out one of the cop cars with caltrops. And then takes out a motorcycle cop by ruining a water tanker. And he's the hero. But that's okay, because Burke's close to finding exactly where Steele's base is. And then gives a very interesting video to the news broadcasters. Giving the news stations the videos that kind of makes it look like Steele is part of the plan.
It's all part of the plan to kill the Batman.
So, that's going well. And then we find out that the weapons in this whole demonstration is very popular with certain people, like the neo-Nazis, and the mercenaries, and the drug cartels.
I love that LA news gets spread around the entire world.
Yeah. Well, I must say, this was an infomercial.
Yeah.
Then Burke calls up the cops to tip them off about exactly where to find Steele.
And they're celebrating. So my question to you is so it's Burke and two henchmen.
Big Willie and the henchman.
And they're sitting around the phone and they're waiting to, I want to celebrate. Go get champagne and we're going to, clink glasses once we haha, we got his ass. Really? Is this supposed to be funny?
Yeah. No, it's just them celebrating. That's all it is. Because they succeeded.
It's not
They're
funny.
now going to take over the world.
It's not funny.
Then John's back with his grandma, and the souffle's almost going to be perfect.
Yeah.
She feels it this time. Then the fucking cops just swarm the house.
Before the cops come in,
Yeah.
Grandma earlier in the day saw a news broadcast about the people that got held hostage in the beginning of the first montage of
the people that got mugged.
Yes, and they're talking about he is like a 7'2" nice guy. He had nice manners, stuff like this.
African American.
Grandma's like, that sounds familiar. So in this scene, Grandma's questioning.
Basically, she's inferring that John Henry Irons is Steele.
She knows that's him. He ain't fucking Superman. Hint, hint. With the whole glasses, not glasses thing. It's like, how many 7'2" African Americans are there in Compton?
I don't know.
One.
There might be more. You never know.
Yeah. You can't just assume, Joe.
I'm assuming.
But
only one.
The freaking SWAT team just starts bursting in through the windows, and they start beating the shit out of the cops between Grandma and John. But eventually the cops get the upper hand. They make the souffle fall again, and they arrest John on suspicions of being Steele. One of the cops goes downstairs and finds one of the gang's guns. The Future Tech guns.
Yep.
which you automatically know it's Martin's because of the guilty look he gives. But they don't follow up on it.
Not one bit.
At all.
Nope.
Fuck.
Like, not even close to, like... There's no plot continuation at all besides Shaq being smart.
Yes. So, we go to police headquarters, and John is, of course, in a lineup, and the two nice people who got mugged, who thought he was very polite, they're there to pick him out of a lineup. They're like, I don't know, he was really nice, and he was acting on the side of the law.
If Steel, I'm going to say this, if Steel became a full-time superhero, his identity would be given away instantly. Because these two older people are picking this guy out, and they know who the hell it is. And they go, none of these guys.
Which, yeah, they would not snitch. They're like the anti-Zen.
Hey. You watch out over there.
Hey, I'm just saying, if we learned anything from the Street Kings podcast...
You're a snitch.
Zen's a snitch.
You guys made that up.
I don't know. I've heard a couple things on Twitter the last few days that have kind of brought that to light again.
Yeah. I'm staying out of it.
Bullshit.
I'm just the big dog.
Then Marcus goes in, Sergeant Marcus, and he's like, yeah, I don't see him here either. So nobody's gonna finger him. So he goes into his cell, and luckily he had hidden his transmitter in his mouth and was able to put it back in. Now he looks like he's talking to himself as he's talking to Sparks, which I'm pretty sure would suspect a little more ire from the guards.
Right. What is he doing? Talking to himself? Whatever.
But Sparks found the website and finds out the auction's in 11 hours. So they have a plan to get him out of jail. How does this plan work? First, Uncle Joe poses as a courier to get the electronic signature of the DA, like, wirelessly transmits it to Sparks.
I don't know.
When no way that was capable over Wi-Fi back then. And then she calls the DA to get his voice imprint, then calls up the security guards using a voice manipulator, and then faxes over the authorization for John Henry Irons' release.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that in 1997.
And they do that all in like a 10-minute process.
Oh, yeah. He's out there that night, still with the busted up ribs, ready to go. They find out exactly where the auction's being held, and Uncle Joe and Steele are on their way there. But they lose touch with Sparks. Well, that's because Sparks has been taken captive by one of Burke's goons. So we go to the auction, and Steele is about to infiltrate, and he tells Uncle Joe, if you don't hear back from me in a little bit, call the colonel and send in the cavalry. Okay? Cool. Then this gets weird.
Yeah, it does.
So, Steele's inside the workshop, and underneath is Burke giving his presentation to all the evil people. And one of Burke's goons just easily gets the drop on Steele, uses the sonic gun to blast him out of the window onto the stage. He loses his hammer.
Steel is like the worst superhero of all time from this movie because fucking he gets the drop dropped on him via a goon.
No, and it's like that top goon, but still, it's not good.
It wasn't even the top goon.
It wasn't even him, was it?
It was just some guy on patrol. Hey, you, what are you doing? Boom.
So now...
Oh my god.
Shaq is stuck on his side because he can't get up.
He's 75 pounds on him.
His hammer is underneath Burke's foot. And oh yeah, Burke has Sparks held hostage. And yeah. Then he shoots Big Willie just because I'm not splitting this shit with you. Then has Slats taken out, but it's with the Roman candle thing. so it doesn't do shit to him. It just mildly irritates him. Then one of the guards tries to get the drop on Uncle Joe, but Lily and Uncle Joe take out the guard because, fucking Shaft.
He's a bad mother.
Shut your mouth. Then John has Burke say, dude, if you want the real power, it's in my hammer.
What? Really?
So, just make sure you don't twist the red knob, or else it's going to be too much power on my shaft.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you know me, I gotta live dangerously. He turns the red switch, it turns on the electromagnet, the hammer goes back to steel. Then Sparks has the Roman candles on her, shooter on her wheelchair, and just starts spinning around shooting everyone and everything.
Which doesn't really hit anything. It's just spinning around.
It just mildly irritates people and starts fires.
Did you tell our lovely fans of the goon bags that are kind of in the, that are in this little presentation? We have like senators, Nazis, mobsters, gangsters.
The Australians?
Australians, yeah.
Drug lords. It's everybody from that first part with the telemark.
Basically, any type of villain you can think of in any action movie, they're in this scene.
Then we get our giant firefight. Well, first of all, Sparks is able to leave because she has rocket boosters on her fucking wheelchair now. And this giant firefight ensues. Everybody's being shot, and they're using guns, real guns and the fake guns, and boom, boom, boom. And then Burke, well, he's down to basically himself at this point and his one goon. And so he's like, okay, I have a backup plan. I've taken Martin hostage. Well, that's a pretty good plan. But then Uncle Joe gets the drop on Burke, and it causes Martin to go free. Martin and Steele get caught into another room, and the main goon throws in a grenade and locks the door.
Yes, he does.
So the only way to survive is to get the grenade up and through a small cylinder.
Shoot it!
But I'm horrible at these.
Bend your knees and shoot it.
Follow through. We're having a Shaq can't shoot free throws grenade joke in the main firefight.
Yep.
And he barely gets it over the front of the rim and out, and it kills the main goon.
Gives a little rim job. Yeah.
You know what the good part is?
It's almost over.
I'm on the last page of notes.
Thank God.
Burke then's like, oh wait, I had a new weapon. I should try this. And he shoots his new weapon at Steele. And it bounces off of Steele back at himself and murders his ass. Burke is dead.
Bounced off Shaq, hits him, he goes flying, and then like the debris falls on him.
And the explosive barrels, which all explode.
Yeah.
So everybody survives, everybody leaves. The cavalry shows up to arrest the people that had escaped and to clean up the mess, I guess. Then, the next day, the Colonel and Steele talk on the phone. Steele using an Arnold Schwarzenegger accent.
Face.
Steele says he's hanging it up. He's done.
I'm done with this. I'm out of here.
And the person, he's like, don't even try following our call. Your person's going to think we're in Cincinnati.
Get out of here.
We've got them. They're in a diner in Cincinnati. Shut up. He's like, I know what you are. And he's like, oh, bye, peace.
Yeah, he drops the peace line. So he's like, oh, yeah, it's him. You're the worst superhero.
And then we get to our final scene. Grandma opens her black and blue cafe out of the house, by the way.
Yeah, outside.
And
so what do they do if it's raining?
Indoor seating. And she finally finished her hominy souffle. Then Sparks unveils her last invention. She can actually stand using her wheelchair.
Dumb.
No, that's actually a thing.
It is now.
I know it's a thing.
But what gets really dumb is, okay, we have been playing off this whole love thing between Sparks and John Henry Irons the entire movie, right?
Yes.
She can finally stand. They can finally get face to face. We know how this ends.
How does it end?
They hug.
Yeah.
They fucking hug.
What a big letdown.
They don't kiss. They don't even do the finger poke down.
Nope. You know
They
what?
hug.
I forgot.
They go Bailey. They go hug life on this.
They do. They do.
Even in 1997, they couldn't show people of interracial couples.
97.
Or
Yeah.
anything.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
Hey, at least Ray. Did any of you guys notice that Ray J said at the end like he wanted to make a tape?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a tape. What kind of tape, Ray J?
This is...
And then that stand up music hits again.
Because she stood up to hug him.
Hug life. That's it. That was terrible.
That was dumb.
That was bad.
That was really dumb. And here's the problem I have. Okay, the love story actually is the part that pissed me off the most, I think, actually. Fucking have them kiss. They're in love. Fuck it. And then, you see, I have a book. And it is called The Essential Superman Encyclopedia. And I open this book to page 374. And I find the entry for Steel. It's actually quite a lengthy entry, taking up almost 2 whole pages on its own. I'm not going to read the entire thing, don't worry.
Oh, thank you.
But here's the thing. So, Steel, who is actually a doctor, he actually got his doctorate, grew up in Washington, D.C., not in L.A.
Well, like I said earlier, they filmed all this in L.A. so Shaq can practice for basketball and the Olympics.
He went to work at a steel mill because he was done with the military, creating weapons for the military.
You kind of got that right.
And how did he want to become a superhero? Because one day at work, one of his coworkers fell. And he was able to save the coworker from falling to his death. But in lieu, ended up falling to his own demise. Until Superman saved him. And when it's saying that he owed his life to Superman told him to live a life worth saving.
I didn't see Superman in this movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everything has to do with Metropolis and Superman after that. Even working again, like I said before, as part of a Team Superman with Supergirl and Superboy. He worked with the JLA. He's worked with Batman. He's worked with all these different characters. But Zen, I would like you to see this picture. That is Steel.
Oh, snap. That is not what Shaq looked like.
We're posted on the Facebook page.
There you go.
And, yeah, that's not even close.
Not even close.
Again, and they like the things about his living with his grandparents and the kids and stuff like that. That actually is part of his backstory. It's like they got bits and pieces, just couldn't quite get the entire thing.
They evolutioned it, alright? That's all they did.
Even to the point where actually one of his nieces becomes Steel as well. But that's another thing altogether.
Well, once Ray J made that tape, who knows?
And actually, a foster son of his sisters ends up working for a villain and giving away his secret identity. Which almost happened with Martin. Would have been kind of cool if they would have followed through on that. But no. As for how this movie did financially.
Hey.
This movie had a budget of $16 million.
9 of it probably went to Shaq.
You can tell from the special effects, none of it went to that.
Nope.
This movie grossed. Is this true?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure?
Yep.
$1.7 million.
Damn.
Yep.
Woo.
So this was a major flop.
Yep.
So here's the thing. Opening weekend.
Yep.
This movie did $870,068. That was good enough to come in 16th.
Damn.
Okay. It got beat by Good Burger.
Home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Face Off.
Hell yeah.
By the way, that was number 15 and 14 respectively. And here's the top 10. Number 10, Air Bud, 3rd week. Number 9, Contact in its 6th week. Number 7, Men in Black in its 7th week. Number 6, George of the Jungle in its 5th week. Number 5, in its 3rd week, Spawn. Number 4, in its opening weekend, Event Horizon. Number 3, in its 2nd week, Conspiracy Theory. Number 2, in its 4th week, was Air Force One. And number 1, in its opening weekend, was Copland. Sylvester Stallone, if I remember right.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Everything that made the top 10 that weekend made over $2.5 million that weekend. This didn't even do that in its entire fucking run.
Nope.
As for the ratings, IMDb has this at 2.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomato critics, 12% rotten. Audience, 15% rotten.
Damn.
So that brings us to our 5-star match rankings for Steel. And as always, let's go with producer Zen to start. Zen, what's your 5-star match ranking for Steel?
This one's a hard one, only because I kind of enjoyed the movie.
What?
Excuse me?
What?
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan, but I didn't think it was...
Who's doing the drug testing for this company?
It reminded me of those Disney movies that he had produced or directed.
Yes, probably deserved to be a made-for-TV movie.
But it was still a pretty fucking terrible movie. Even though I enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it a 0.5.
A half a star.
Yes.
I thought you were going to go much higher with that, with the glowing praise you were giving it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying
She doesn't get criticized for it.
I didn't fully hate watching this movie.
Okay. Joseph Lessel.
Yep.
What is your 5-star match ranking for Steel?
I'm going to also do 0.5. And I don't like it. I didn't... it's just hard to describe. Like, it's not good. That's it.
It's bad.
It broke me. This movie kind of broke me. Shaq's acting was just funny.
I mean...
Uncle Joe was the best part of the damn movie.
And I think you had to tell us from this podcast, it's kind of been... Oh, man, this movie's just shit.
Yeah.
It's not like fun shit to tear apart, though, it seems.
No.
It's just kind of...
It's just because this movie had all these points and plots they wanted to talk about, but they never went back to it. Or they did stuff like will they, won't they with these two, and then they're like, oh, they're just friends.
You know what this was? This was a pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was like a pilot for a early to mid 1990s NBC show like Viper.
Yep.
Or Sequest or something like that. Where they had like the little bit over the top special effects and stuff like that, but it was, this was exactly what this feels like. This was a pilot for a TV show.
It's like the RoboCop movies that were after 3.
Yeah.
Like the Cop Files or what are the Cyborg Files, what the hell they're called. Mm-hmm. That's basically what this is.
Yeah, this was exactly what it feels like a TV pilot.
Like the Flash, the original Flash.
Oh, like the CBS one?
Yeah.
Oh,
kind of like
I
that.
actually fucking like that show.
It's kind of like that.
And I think this would have done well as a TV show. Because you had some subplots you could have had fun with.
See, I agree with you there. I think this would have worked much better as a TV show.
As a feature film, it's the drizzling shits. I as well will go with 0.5 stars. I wanted to go with the full 1 star. Only because of Richard Roundtree. But Shaq's acting, the horrible special effects, and that last scene absolutely kill it. You know what? I'm not even going to give it a half star. 0 stars. The Hug killed it. This movie cannot be about the Hug life.
But what about the stand-up music?
Stand up for what you believe.
Calm down, Cher. That's what you sounded like. Oh, I'm just saying.
Barely didn't like that.
I'm sorry. Do you believe in love? There you go.
I don't even know what to say about that. You know what I can say to that?
What?
That you can let us know on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, and NoSoulEntertainment.com when you rate, subscribe, follow, and comment on our shows exactly what you think of our voices, as well as on the Twitter at NoCellENT. We're also on Instagram at NoCellENT, Snapchat NoCellPodcast, Facebook.com/NoCellEntertainment. You can also contact us on our Contact Us page on NoCellEntertainment.com. You can also find us individually on the Twitters. Producer Zen.
At Producer Zen.
Joseph Russell.
At the Dasheen.
And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at the MacTheMACK for actual knowledge on Superman's backstory and his side characters. I have the fucking book. So, one last thing before we get on our merry way. We saw a movie this last week.
Yeah!
Movie.
We saw Logan, the 10th X-Men film.
Yep.
And the last of the Hugh Jackman Wolverine films, if that's to be believed.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this was a movie.
Yep.
It definitely got the R rating. They definitely worked that R rating. So, quickly, 5-star match rankings in on Logan.
4.5.
Ooh, very high praise.
Yes. I will say, I'm not going to give anything away, but don't go into this movie. How do I even want to say it? It's a sad fucking movie.
I know how you can say it. I know how.
It's a sad, sad movie. But it is it's a very well directed and it's told well. Although it could have been better in some parts. I think really I don't know. Just go see the movie. I don't know how to put it other than it's a good movie. It's just really sad.
Dashing.
I'm giving it 5.
Ooh, going top marks.
I love Wolverine. Mm-hmm. This is a sad movie. It did get the full R, but you know, some of the things you can say about the movie is like, well, Deadpool did R, so let's do Logan R. But the thing would be is, I felt like they did cuss words and stuff out of nowhere. Like, what the fuck? Fuck you. What the fuck are you doing
that's
here?
a problem. That's one of the things is, usually, I mean, out of place cursing is just kind of what we fucking do anyways. But
exactly, see, like that.
The thing is, when it's Patrick Stewart doing
Patrick Stewart's funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. And people, you know, it is pretty gruesome, but people, what are you going to expect from a Wolverine movie? But the movie is sad. But I would say this. A good movie makes you feel those emotions after leaving the movie theater. And that's what this movie does. It makes you feel about this movie. Because what Zen maybe what you're trying to think of is, this is not the same Wolverine you've seen in the other 9 movies that he's been in.
Yeah.
Because he, you know, in the other all 9, he can heal, you know, his claws, all this and that and this. But in this one, he's struggling day by day just to live.
Yeah, don't give away too much there.
That's but yeah, it's a good movie.
I really do kind of want to do its own podcast for this movie because I think the discussion would be a lot of fun.
We should.
We might get around to that. Maybe when it comes out on Blu-ray or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't go full 5 on it. Again, it's got some flaws to it. I would probably go 4-star. 8, and I loved it. I think it's the best X-Men movie I've seen. Easily the best of the 3 Wolverine movies, though I actually did like the second one.
X2?
The Wolverine.
Oh, the Wolverine. I liked it. Me and the guest Keith, we went on. We had an hour conversation about in what way, in what timeline does what movie fit.
Because it is definitely a different timeline for this movie.
Ish.
And it's just a really good movie. Again, it does very well in giving you three different feelings because you do have that the sadness and the melancholy part of it, but there's also a great humor to it, which really helps that offset.
Yeah,
because that's something that you should do in a drama is to have comedy. This goes back to even Shakespearean thought process. And then the other side of it is, my God, some of the action is some of the most gruesome action I've ever seen. And it's fucking amazing.
It's fitting for this type of movie.
And I'm not a Wolverine fan by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
I think he's an okay character. I think he's an overrated character for what a lot of people put him at. He's not even my favorite X-Men. But...
yeah, Jubilee is. We got it.
Fuck you.
you got me the Kenneth Johnson.
Colossus for days. But this is a great movie. I recommend anybody who is a fan of X-Men or Wolverine to absolutely go and see this. And it's just some good movies. Again, be prepared. There's a lot of cursing and a lot of blood. But...
and it's very sad.
And sad.
It's sad, but in a good way. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
You need to have a good feel every now and then. Was it Jim Valvano said, every day you should laugh and you should be brought to tears. And then you should think. And then you've had a full day.
I teared up, not gonna lie.
I did not. But I'm about to say I was probably holding back the man tears a little bit there at the end.
I was holding back. One maybe came out, but that's about
it. The single tear.
Yep.
They made a reference to an old movie that kind of got me a little bit, and that oh yeah. But we can talk about that maybe when the Blu-ray comes out.
Oh, I cannot wait. I want to see it in theaters again. I'm not lying.
I'm not gonna lie. We found the only way we're ever watching movies again as well.
Yep.
If you have a theater that has recliners, it's over.
Yeah. Or you can reserve your seats.
Reserve seats work.
Yes.
I heard some people complain about this because they were buying their tickets the day of and they couldn't control where they were sitting.
Oh, boo freaking who?
We have these things called the internet.
It's called Fandango, and reserve your seats a week before.
That's what we did with this movie. We bought our tickets the week before, selected an entire row basically just for our friends, except for the dumb bitch next to me who wouldn't shut up. I thought the Savior was going to go across and save somebody there for a second.
I'm surprised he didn't.
But
he has no control.
He does not.
Over his emotions?
Or over who does the testing of the show.
Maybe a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah, absolutely go and see that movie.
All right, Jeff, let's end the show with what's up next on the queue.
Okay, I am still questioning if this is actually a movie that exists.
It's a movie. It's a thing that's up on the screen right now.
It is. I still question its existence. Because you see, the movie that we are watching next week
was requested by this Savior himself, Richard.
And we get this tweet about this movie and it's like, wait, is this actually a thing?
I've seen this trailer like 5 times.
And now that I've seen the trailer, I still question its existence. But next week we are watching a movie allegedly, and it is called Tammy and the T-Rex. It is from 1994. Who does it star?
Denise Richards and Paul Walker.
Wait, in 1994?
Yep.
Oh my God!
And it involves a T-Rex.
Yes.
What, Joe?
Oh, I just saw who the director is, and he does a movie that is a Q movie. We just have to find it.
Okay, so possibilities abound for next week's show. So looking forward to that, folks. next week here on The Q. Available on NoSellEntertainment.com as well as YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. And with that being said, for Producer Zed, for Dashing Joseph Lessel, for the actual Steel from the comics that lives in Metropolis and not in fucking LA, I am the Onitoshi Jeff Mack. Good night.